And we are live. Hey guys, I'm Wolfie. This is the Huddle. Welcome. Appreciate you all being here. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. On the docket today, we are going to talk about an article where it's talking about, would you rather have Membu or would you rather have Mason Graham if he failed you? That's kind of an interesting question, like a lot of you. Daniel Jeremiah recently came out with two guys he thinks San Francisco 49ers could go after at 11. I thought they're kind of interesting options there. And I think I would take the obscure option there instead of the one that's obvious. Next up, the Kittle refutes the reports. I thought that was pretty cool. And we've yet to talk about the Brock Purdy, Trent, and Fred at being there at camp, which I think is really awesome as well. And then after that, we'll go ahead and do our final 32-team mock draft live, where we just go through all the teams, like try to predict it, see if we can nail it. We're not going to get them all. Like, that's just 110% fact. There's going to be trades we're not going to see coming. People are going to trade back because it's going to be a non-trade back kind of type situation, just because those are probably super, super hard to predict. And there's like a 99% chance you're going to get those wrong. Like, without sources or anything of that nature, it's damn near impossible to get those right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do nothing but 32, no trades, 32 teams, and just try and nail the pick, and let's see if we can do that. That's what we'll try to do. We're not trying to do anything fancy or nothing crazy, but that's definitely the plan. So thank you guys for being here today. Let me go ahead and drink some water because water is good for you. H2O, it's the way to go. All right. Under the Helmet podcast in the house. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much. Supporting the channel. Appreciate you guys. Be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button already, helps out the channel. And we just take off. Tomorrow, we are going live for the draft. So be there to see my reaction of number 11. I really would love for you guys to be there. I mean, if the 49ers draft Shamar Stewart, you guys are going to be entertained if you like seeing someone freak out. So, you don't want to miss that. I might be joining David McNiner and a couple other people. I don't know. Haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah. Papa J in the house. Best mod a broken ass for. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Once we hit 5K, let's give you another big shout out. And then after that, we're going to make it like a 5K thing where it's like 10K, 15K, and then just keep doing that. But yeah, man, thank you so much, man. It's because of you guys that made 4K. So I'm to this day, man, it's surreal, man. It's surreal. Jake in the house, Strawberry in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you guys. Hope that your Wednesday, the day before the draft, is fantastic. Hope it's really good right now. Hope it's a really good Wednesday right now. So, and I think it's awesome we stopped by too. It's finally here, man. It's finally here, dude. I'm so excited, dude. I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be crazy. I mean, like, I've never felt so much anticipation for this draft ever. And just to talk about it, I guess, real quick, is like, I never done this much research on a prospect. I never talked about prospects like this much to this length, especially with you guys. This many mock drafts, etc. I've never been more committed to a draft before, to this one, especially how stacked it is. That I don't think I've ever been more excited, man. I cannot wait. Even with other teams, like, I want to see the prospects that I love and that I like and see where they go. Like, even if the 49ers don't draft him, I want to know where James Pierce ends up. I want to know where Shamar Stewart ends up. He's my hater watch. Wherever he goes, I hope he goes to a division rival, man. I hope he goes somewhere I don't like. I would to a team I don't like. There's things I would want to see also in the draft in general. I've never been more committed to this kind of a draft before, so I'm pretty excited about tomorrow. Like, it feels like Christmas. It truly feels like Christmas on some level. It's like football Christmas. You get to unpack you get to take the wrapping off your player that you get for the next year or whatever. It's like, it is football Christmas, and I cannot wait for it to start tomorrow. The only thing that sucks, it's always until 5 o'clock Pacific time, man. That is so. Oh my God, we're not even 24 hours away yet, guys. We're 25. We're 25. Strawberry's committed, man. He likes his Niners. So much fun. So much fun with you and listening to you around Shamar Stewart. I was going to put another Shamar Stewart video out today, but I was like, no. Everyone's got the point. I'm gonna relax on the Shamar Stewart today. I almost put out another one today, but I was like, nah. I'll chill out on it. Everyone gets how I feel about Shamar Stewart, so I'll back off on it. But yeah, it's up there. One in the house. The Niners will trade back, fully convinced they'll find a way, probably with Denver. I hope so, man. It's definitely an option, especially with the Steelers as well, man. You're hearing all kinds of rumors that the Raiders are interested in Milroe, which is definitely a trade back kind of type candidate there. Panthers want to trade back. The Raiders want to potentially trade back. The Jaguars potentially want to trade back. So you got teams where 49ers not only might trade back, but they also might trade up to get a guy as well, because they're trade up candidates as well, depending upon who the player is. So I would love for them to see them trade back. There's only so few of them that would want to trade back. So the only one I can think of is Denver Broncos. And the player that I think they want is someone like Genty. It would have to be a quality. I don't know. Like, I almost think they're not going to trade back. I would love for them to, but I just don't think it's in the cards. Like, there's just doesn't seem like there's enough candidates to actually want to trade up for a guy. And I think the Broncos are the only one. So it's possible, but, they probably want to trade like 8 or 9, or something like that to make sure they get some other dude like Genty if he falls or something like that. So I would like that. Especially if you get like another 4th or a 3rd, that'd be fantastic. I try to support a handful of 49ers content creators, but I have had to change who I listen to because over time, some of them become annoying. Not Wolfie, though. Hey, I appreciate it. I try. Yeah. Appreciate Wolfie and Graham. Art's my first. Hey, you're one of my favorites, man. You're one of my favorites as well, too. I appreciate you. Salvador in the house. What's up, Wolfie? Bang, bang, not a gang, baby. Bang, bang, not a gang, baby. Just laid back, chill dudes talking football. That's what it's all about, man. It's just all about talking football, man. Just have a conversation about football. That's what it's all about. That's what we like about football. We sit there, we talk, and we watch it. You know what I'm saying? I know there's no Val. That's actually shocking. No Val today. No Val, it seems. But, hey, she deserves a break. She's always here. She always comes in the clutch, hitting that like button, man. If she just needs a break, I totally get it. Oh, my God. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into the first thing real quick. And I would love for you guys to get your guys' opinion on this because I think this is a very interesting dilemma here. And before I go, there's 15 people in here. Hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button yet. Val in the house. There's Val right there. Strawberry in the house. Val Salvador in the house. Papa J in the house. There's Val. There's Val right there. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. I love to hear you guys' opinion on this. Which one would you rather take if you could only pick 1 out of 11? And it's for some reason I feel like it's now more kind of a huge dilemma. It really kind of is because initially it's a player that the 49ers would draft potentially at 11, and there was the player they would reach for if it fell to them, they would get him. Now it's kind of like they're both going to be taking top 10. So like if they both fell to you, which one would you take? Who would you rather take? Membu? Would you rather take Armand Membu or Mason Graham? Would you rather take Armand Membu or Mason Graham? And I'm going to give you my opinion real quick. I'm going to tell you straight up, I think Membu would be the answer. Why? Because like they're both great, both top 10 talent, especially Membu like moving up in the board, especially after his combine, etc. He's got the film and he proved out at the combine how good he was. I personally would take Membu because there are so many D tackles in this draft in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round that are first round quality players, the day one starters, impactful players that if you got Membu at 11, you immediately get the guard thing out of the way, the tackle thing right out of the way, and you can still address the D tackle situation without really going after someone, forcing the issue with guard at that point. you would get a top end guard, and you'd also get a first rounder, day one impact D tackle, some of the second, third, and fourth rounds as well. I would much rather take Armand Membou. I'm not saying Mason Graham's not good, right? He does have potential. I'm not as high on him as everyone else is, as you guys know. Like, I don't think he's this, Chris Jones, Aaron Donald guy, but I still think he's good. I still think he's the best D tackle in this draft. But like, I just feel like you're not missing out on a generational, kind of type talent if you were to pick Mason Graham. Like if you weren't to pick Mason Graham. If Mason Graham was that kind of type of level, that kind of threat, I would say pick Mason Graham just because he's on a tier on his own. But Membou, man, I just feel like that would be a great pickup for the 49ers. Get something right out of the way, a big need, and you got Brock Purdy out there to protect. You need to protect Brock Purdy, who you're going to end up paying for sure. So, yeah, I just think Membou would be the way to go, man. And not to mention, if you pick Membou, it would be a pick that the 49ers fans would absolutely love. I think most 49ers fans would love Membou more than Mason Graham, to be honest. And that's kind of crazy to say, but Membou, man, just seems to be the pick for the 49ers. Like, if they can get Membou, I feel like every 49ers fan, front office, everyone, that'd be like the most satisfying, like $50 steak-esque kind of pick, right? So I would pick Membou. As draft approaches, I've been feeling a little skeptical of Mykel Williams. I don't dislike him, but I prefer plenty of guys over. That's how I feel. I don't think Mykel is bad or by any means, but there's just so many other pass rushers I'd much rather take up front. But I don't think he's like worse than Shamar Stewart, right? Like Larry Krueger's saying. I don't think he's like this second round pick kind of type guy. I still think he's a first round guy, but I'd much rather take James Pierce Jr. I'd rather take pass rusher wise, Mike Green, Abdul Carter, if he fell to him, Nick Scorton, even I'd almost take out Izaraku. And then after that, I'd probably take Mykel after those kind of type DNs. But if you took Mykel, I wouldn't hate it. I would like it, not love it. You know what I mean? Kind of type thing. But yeah, that's how I feel about Mykel Williams. And we're showing some love. That's what I like to see. 49ers Purdy deal getting closer. It must, man. Brock Purdy showed up at the camp. We'll go and talk about that in a minute. Membou DT class deeper. Exactly. Strawberry. Exactly. You know what's up. Exactly. It would be so awesome if the Purdy contract dropped while we were on the stream. That would be fantastic. I would absolutely love that. I want it done as soon as possible. I want it done yesterday. I want that done like right now. I'm so tired of waiting for this deal to get done. But I mean, I guess we could talk about this real quick, and that's a good segue, Strawberry. So we can talk about it. We all know that Brock Purdy showed up at training camp and, the voluntary OTA. So he didn't have to be there. But I know if he did show up there, there'll be a lot of conversation of like, oh, he's not showing up voluntary OTAs, so it's going bad or whatever, which I don't think is fair. It's voluntary, But for Brock Purdy to show up, I think it says a lot more. It shows that he still wants to be part of this team, still shows initiative. Brock Purdy, man, showing it's such a huge deal, right? Because if it's kind of like what Mike Silver said was like, if he didn't show up, it would be a bad sign that the negotiations are not going great. But him showing up is a good sign. And I agree with that 110%. If the conversations with the negotiations right now were terrible or whatever, he would not have shown up. I think him showing up says that things are going great. I think it shows that they are closer than people think they are at a deal. I do agree with that assessment because I'm not showing up to my job, man, if things aren't going good, if I'm not close to a deal or anything like that. If things were good, relationships were good, everything's heading the right way, we're close to a deal, I'll show up to voluntary OTAs because it sounds like it's practically a guarantee it's going to happen. It's just coming down to the wire kind of type thing. So Brock Purdy showing up, absolutely love it. I was going to make a video on it, but I ended up just not having the time, missed out on the opportunity to make a video on it. But reacting to it right now, I absolutely love the fact that Brock Purdy was able to show up. And I still think a deal gets done before mandatory minicamp. I think it's definitely going to be like May 28th, May 29th. That's my prediction. But I still think that the deal gets done. It's going to get done. It may not be now. I would love for it to be now. I'd love to be wrong for it to be now, but I don't think that gets done until late May. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You still be there for mandatory mini camp, still be there for the training camp stuff and all of that. Like, it'd still be good, right? It's not the end of the world if we don't sign him now. It's what 49ers should worry about is if it carries into mandatory minicamp. That's when you should be worried. Like, don't worry about the reports when someone says, oh, they still haven't signed him yet. It's like, dude, wait till mandatory minicamp, wait until training camp, wait until all those kind of type things unfold. Then you can start worrying, right? That's when the real worry should kick in. Right now, it's not the time to freak out, right? But people are going to take advantage of it. It's the draft season right now, so Brock Purdy could get traded. He's going to get traded after the draft because they drafted a 7th-round quarterback or some crap like that. It's going to happen until he signs, like whether we like it or not. So Brock Purdy showing up is fantastic. Fred showing up is really cool. Like, Fred seems like he's just like very nonchalant about it. He seems very just kind of like, it's going to get done. I know it's going to get done. My agent's going to work it out. Everything's good. It sounds to me the 49ers are like, props to the front office. I know a lot of people don't like doing that, but props to the front office for, how do I put this? Not stressing out the players. Like, compared to last year with, Ayuk and Trent Williams and all that, you got Fred who wants an extension. He's there at training camp right now, voluntary. Brock Purdy wants an extension. He's there right now. Trent Williams is there. You got good vibes. You got really good vibes with this team right now. The players have really good vibes. They're excited about Robert Saleh. They're excited about the future of the squad, despite wanting an extension. So Fred being there, I think, is a big deal. I'm super happy about that. And he said something about I don't really care. Fred says, like, I got plenty of money and stuff like that. I know it's not like him saying, well, I don't actually want an extension. I'm sure he still wants an extension and stuff, but it's more like, I have money. It's not like I don't have any money. So me showing up is, so I shouldn't show up kind of type thing. So Fred being there is really cool. And Fred's always kind of showed like he doesn't care too much about money as much as the rest of the players. Like, I mean, heck, when Myles Garrett was potentially about to get traded or whatever, the rumors going about, Fred was like, I'd probably take a pay cut to get him on the squad. And George Kittle was like, nah, man. Nah, dude. I'm not taking a pay cut. Speak for yourself. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I think that the good vibes, guys. Like, I haven't felt good vibes in a 49ers offseason in quite some time. And, outside of, the purge of the players and stuff, even though those moves made sense, it still hurt to see that, right? It still felt a little weird to see those things happen, right? But, like, outside of the purge, like, the vibes for this 49ers offseason, for real 49ers fans who have been paying attention, not the outside noise, this has been good. It's been nothing but good vibes. And it's been tenfold better than any other offseason. I can't remember a better offseason. I really honestly can't. I mean, you got Brock Purdy coming to voluntary areas. You got Fred. You got Trent. You got Christian McCaffrey healthy. You got Robert Saleh. You got Brant Boyer. You got firings of terrible coaches. You moved on from players that are absolutely terrible for this team. I couldn't be more excited. I think the only thing that could derail this feeling right now is if we draft Shemar Stewart at 11. If we draft Shemar Stewart at 11, Jesus. I really don't know how I'm going to react, but I promise you I'm just going to react. I'm just going to, like, I've thought about, like, should I prepare myself? Should I prepare a speech? Should I prepare a reaction? But I kind of was like, no, I'm going to let it be natural. If it happens, it happens. And I'm going to react naturally. And I think that's what people would want to see in the end about that. But yeah, man, the vets are at camp, baby. Let's go. Let's go. One other thing too is George, as you guys know, George Kittle refutes conversations with about his contract, saying, hey, he wants to be the highest paid tight end. I thought that was kind of crazy. I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, I don't know if he deserves it, but he's 31 years old. I don't think the 49ers could afford to give him a contract like that. I think that's asking for a little much considering his age. But if they wanted to give him a better like a 3-year, $60 million deal where he gets paid $20 million a year, that I understand. But a 4-year commitment, I feel like is a little bit much. But if they wanted to give him like an extra 2 years, 3 years, a lot more guaranteed money kind of type thing, that I would understand. So I'm really glad that George Kittle kind of came out and said, no, that's also not true. I refute that report. And another report that he refutes is Dan Racine saying he didn't show up to voluntary minicamp because of the contract situation. George Kittle himself, the source himself, said, no, that's not true. I love George Kittle, man. George Kittle is every 49ers fan that was absolutely worried about George Kittle. George Kittle just was like, guys, hey, 49ers fan base, calm down. I'm here, right? I never go to voluntary OTAs. It's never been a thing of mine. I'm just not there now, so relax. I never asked for that kind of money. Relax. I absolutely love that. So great vibes right now, guys. Great vibes. Absolutely great vibes. Your opinion on that with Wolfie. Hey, I appreciate it. With the 11th pick of 2025, and with the 11th pick in the NFL draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Mike Green. That's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. I love it. That's a pick I absolutely want at 11 for sure. I would love that at 11. I absolutely love it. I would take Carter, Green, Pierce Jr., and maybe even Scorton over Mikel. I'm on board. William Roberts in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. How many times will Grant try to trade Brock after he signs, dude? I know. There's going to be like some sort of loophole, and there's going to be like some sort of like technically he doesn't get the extension until 2026 after April 1st, so they can still technically trade him. You know it. Jake in the house. Wolfie, when did you change your pronunciation of Shamar? Fuck, I want to erase that comment. I go back and forth. It's just about how I feel, I'm a little tism about things that I say. Sometimes I'll say Shamir. When you're in the chat, I try to say Shamir because you got to correct things sometimes. So sometimes I'll say Shamir just to fuck with you. I hate how BP haters are saying he only showed up because he is scared of Mac Jones. It doesn't matter what he does. They will shit on him and then act like they aren't. Haters pisses me off. Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense. I mean, that wouldn't make any sense at all. Because if he's not going to get his money, then he's going to just want to go somewhere else anyway, right? So it's not like he's afraid. And I love 49ers. I love the fact that he wants to be a 49er. But realistically, he's a professional football player. So, even if he missed out on a job here because Mac Jones turned out to steal his job, he's going to get a contract somewhere else. Someone else is going to pay him somewhere else. So, to say, he's afraid of Mac Jones taking his job is just ridiculous. That's just absolute hater talk, right? He's a professional football player. It's his job. And, he can choose not to come to camp and not perform or whatever, just like any other quarterback in the NFL, right? Just like any other quarterback that doesn't show up to voluntary minicamp for their extensions, things of that nature. People are going to say things to be haters, just how it is, man. People don't like the 49ers, man. There's people out there that 49ers are one of the most hated teams. Be honest. They're most hated teams. One of the teams that other fan bases don't want to see that team succeed. So they'll talk shit whatever way they can. They'll be haters every way that they can. And they'll never wish the 49ers the best because they don't want that to happen. So that's just how it falls, man. People are going to hate. People are going to make up things that, aren't true. If it's kind of like this, for example, AJ Brown getting with the Patriots jerseys, right? I made a joke video. Oh shit, he's gonna get traded. Oh shit, AJ Brown wants to be a Patriot. And Eagles fans are like, no, just because he took a picture with the Patriots jerseys doesn't mean he wants to be an Eagles fan. It's like, yeah, no shit. But it's just a joke, right? It's just funny. I'm just being a hater, right? But some people take that seriously though, right? And that's just how it is. Like people outside of the 49ers fan base are going to say things like that because it's trolling. It's funny. It's a joke. So some things, man, you can't take seriously, and you just gotta look at as people purposely overreacting on things for the sake of being funny or for the sake of causing drama. I don't think AJ Brown wants to be a Patriot. I truly don't actually do that. It's just a joke. I don't think AJ Brown is going to get traded to the Patriots at 4 if Abdul Carter fell there, like that rumor that was going around. I don't think that's going to happen, right? But those conversations and those things are going to come up if there's ever an article that says, I would consider this, or I think this could happen, and then suddenly it becomes true. So it happens to every team, and it's going to happen to us. Oh, Brock Purdy wanted to show up to minicamp because he was afraid Nick Jones was going to steal his job. It's if I wasn't a fan of the 49ers, right? If I wasn't a fan of the 49ers, I hated the 49ers. That is something that I would say. That is something I would easily say. So it's really just people pushing narratives because it's funny. So I don't know who Steve McMichael is. What's up, WSG, my main man? Who's WSG? I don't know what WSG is. I think he's a good run stopper. I don't think he's actually that bad. I think he's a good run stopper too. But yeah, Parsons is you just got to run at him. I've seen film breakdown of Parsons. We just got to run at him. You're fine. Totally agree. Anthony Manzano in the house. Recently, I just did Wolfie. I just recently did a mock draft for you guys. I had you guys drafting Walter Nolan. That does seem to be the consensus. That is a safe pick. Thank you for not drafting a corner, because everyone tends to pick a corner, and it's like, Jesus Christ, stop giving us a corner. All right, enough with the corner. Enough with the Shamar Stewart at 11. Enough with that. So 10 people in here, man. Be sure to hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh, 9 people in here now. Appreciate it. Be sure to hit that like button. We're at 11 likes, baby. Let's go. Maybe we can hit 20. Maybe we can hit the big 2-0. That's Papa J's 11 is Walter Nolan. That's Papa J's. This is a football thing in general, Wolfie. What are your thoughts on the passing of Steve Mongo McMahon? I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. He battled LAS. He was a Hall of Fame defensive tackle, I'm assuming, for the Bears. I've never even heard of the guy. I'm not going to lie to you. Well, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. That's all I can say. I'm not going to lie. That's sad. Strawberry, I love the CMC interview. Oh, that's right. CMC is clarifying some things, too. That's clarifying some things. Trent Williams showing up, shutting up everyone who was trying to claim he had retired. That is just where that came from. That conversation came from with Trent Williams was because Joe Staley at one point didn't make a decision yet, and there was no confirmation that he was going to stay. And they waited until they drafted not McGlinchey, traded for Trent for Joe to announce his retirement. The difference between that moment and Trent Williams situation, Trent Williams has confirmed that he's going to play. John Lynch has confirmed that he's going to play. If Trent Williams is going to retire or whatever, John Lynch would say the same thing along the lines of Joe Staley, saying we still haven't decided yet. He's got to let us know, things of that nature. We're a draft a guy at 11, and then we'll tell you guys. It's not the same. It's just people say things because it's a story. It gets you clicks, man. Like you're going to click on a story that's going to tell you, hey, Trent might consider retirement. It just happens, man. Like people people have grifter takes, people have hater takes, people have takes that they make up, or they have opinion pieces that will get people talking, and that's Trent Williams possibly retiring. There's been no sign of that whatsoever. It's all been, oh, he's going to play. John Lynch has said himself, he's going to play. So it's just, and there's no other source. It's really just opinions because one time Joe Staley couldn't make a decision one time, so he's going to retire. That's it. That's what they went off of. And people are going to come out with their hater takes, their made up takes, say things that are not true because it gets them clicks. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's kind of like the AJ, like I said, my AJ Brown short that I made. It's a joke, but it got views, man. People clicked on it, thought it was funny. I had people comment saying, "Oh, this is not true." And it's like, yeah, I know that. No shit. But that's just the joke. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like you make things that get people to watch, and sometimes the algorithm pushes it and stuff like that. So, I'm Too Papa. He's got me fired up for the season. It's not even May. Way better vibes than last year. 110%, man. The vibes are just so much better this time. Like, can you guys remember the Ayuk shit? Do you remember all that Ayuk crap? All that Ayuk stuff, man, was just, oh, dude, it is tenfold better. Yeah, your quarterback hasn't signed yet. Our quarterback hasn't signed yet. Stuff like that or whatever. But vibes, man, it's Cloud9. It's Cloud9. That's good. I'm good as well. But I learned I get Lyme disease. But oh shit. I'm sorry, man. That's a bummer. That's a bummer, man. I'll be feel better, dude. Lyme disease is no joke. What's the latest on Kittle? The 49ers going to trade Kittle during the draft? Absolutely not. I don't know if you heard what I said earlier, but a lot of people say things, man. A lot of people say things, especially during contract extensions and stuff. You just gotta stop and think, do some research, look it up. Like, okay, how true is this? What's the source and stuff? George Kittle has refuted all that stuff. He says that, hey, I don't want to be the highest paid tight end or whatever. I didn't show up because of the contract dispute kind of stuff. George Kittle being traded, that's not going to happen. People are saying that are just, it's just because there's uncertainties. So they're able to make a video on it and say that, right? They could, he hasn't signed yet. Oh, there's Tyler Warren. They can get Tyler Warren 11. So I'm going to go ahead and make a video on George Kittle potentially being traded. It's that easy to create that kind of narrative. It's that easy to create a split, right? There is no actual source or anything like that that says, oh, the 49ers have been shopping George Kittle. There's nothing like that. It's just some guy made a video saying, hey, could the George Kittle be traded? And then suddenly it turns into wildfire, and now there's this potential that George Kittle gets traded. And it's just like, no. No, Shemar Stewart, 110%. Shemar Stewart vibes getting thrown out of the – absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Cannot do it. Yeah, he never shows up to phase one. Strawberry, I felt you something great is going to happen this year. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the draft tomorrow. He works out at home and doesn't show up until he starts doing on-field work. Yep. And if he felt like, realistically, if George Kittle wanted to hold out, if George Kittle was going to potentially be traded, if George Kittle was not be part of this team anymore, right? If there was actual friction, he would not have practiced with Brock Purdy. He would not have gotten reps with Brock Purdy. He wouldn't waste his time like that. Why would you practice with a quarterback you're not going to play with? So I'm not concerned. Kittle will get paid 110%. He was refuting that he didn't show up due to contract dispute. Yep. And agreed. I think Kittle contract will be done in May after Purdy contract. He also came out and said that NFL rumors said that he wants to be the highest paid tight end, and he said that's also wrong. He says that report is also wrong. He said both things. So, yeah, Kittle! Let's go, man. Kittle Skittles, baby. Jay Feely. Yes, Jay Feely is running for Congress. I'm shocked. I don't know why we're talking about that. Good evening, everyone in chat from me. Hey, Nikita in the house is getting ready for tomorrow night. He should, man. Just whip out the suit. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about getting a tie, putting on a tie, putting on a nice shirt. Thinking about it. I might do it. 20 people in here, man. Hit that like button if you haven't already, man. Big W. We hit the Venti. Let's go, baby. We hit Venti. Let's do it. And we're showing some love. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Wi-Fi in the house. I'm so hyped. I'm on getting a running back first round. I mean, if it's Genty, it's not the end of the world, right? I mean, Genty is dope. I love Genty, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'll tell Dad he said hi. He's at an Italian restaurant. Tell him I said hi. Hope he enjoys his pizza or whatever he gets. Yeah. Without a doubt, Kittle will be signed. He will sign 110%. Show him some love. Like and subscribe, y'all, for the Wolfpack and Terror Dome stuff for sure. Make sure you subscribe to Terror Dome. He's dope. If you don't know who Terror Dome is, he also makes 49ers content. It's pretty cool. It's pretty dope. Might make it short soon. Look out for that. Doesn't mean he wants to be an Eagles fan. Who does? Eagles fans? They are Rams fans right here. So are division rivals like Seahawks and Cardinals. I totally threw in the wrong cut and paste. True. Please do subscribe to Terror Dome as well. Michael was a Bears fan. 85 was a Bears legend. 85 Bears. Recipe Steve McMichaels. The whole thing with Trent was stupid. It was stupid. I agree. 110%. I mean, you grab something, latch on it, and then, it builds like wildfire. If you got 100-something thousand subscribers and you say something, it's going to run like wildfire. Terror Dome in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. If they need to replace Trent, they would have traded for Jeremy Tunsil. I think they would have outbid the Commanders to get him. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. They definitely would have the in with what's his name? What's the dude's name? D'Amico Ryans. They definitely have the in with D'Amico Ryans. So definitely something you probably would have heard about too as well. So they weren't going to replace him. I wasn't concerned about that. I'm not concerned about Brock Purdy stuff. There's nothing that's got me concerned. There's nothing got me concerned about Kittle stuff, Fred stuff, or Trent stuff. It's, I always do my research on rumors first thing. If I hear a rumor about something happening with a player, I go and I find the article, the source of that article, or the source of that rumor. Like the Trent thing, I'm not going to say who, but the one that shall not be named started that whole thing. He's the one that started that whole Trent thing, not showing up to camp stuff, and then some people just rolled with it, right? That was the source of that. That's not a source. He doesn't have a source. So there's that. The George Kittle stuff, you got Danny Rossini is probably your best source kind of things, but George Kittle, who is the source himself, said no, that is not true. Same thing with like Brock Purdy stuff, potentially getting traded. All those things were like opinion pieces. Oh, here's a scenario. Oh, here's a potential trade offer. None of those were like, hey, the 49ers have been reaching out to other teams to potentially trade Brock Purdy. Nothing like that has come out. It's all been potential trade scenarios, ideas, or they should consider this, things like that. You got to look out. I always look out for those kind of like, what's the source of this conversation? People will be surprised by how good the Niners will be. I'm saying now, because Niners, who else tore their roster apart? The 13-4 Bills. I actually thought the Bills were going to be bad last year, 110%. I actually did not think they were going to be that good, and I was wrong about that. Also, the roster is super easy. Like, I feel like if you got rookies on your D-line, and, the difficulty of that schedule, they should go to the playoffs. Like, I would be genuinely shocked if the 49ers don't go to the playoffs. That they have the easiest schedule in the NFL. As of right now, like, the Bears could suddenly get good. Some of the teams that are on that schedule could turn out to be really good because they revamped their squad as well. But it's based on how good they were last year, and based on how good those teams were last year, the 49ers have the easiest schedule. So I'm not concerned. I think this is the best time to have rookies come in and be your day one starters because of the schedule. I think it's the best time to do it. Tear Dome in the building. Ash showing some love. That's what I like to see. It's the eve of the draft. It is Christmas NFL Eve. Cam Mule in the house. Niners are going to draft Shamar Stewart just to piss you off. Probably, man. We'll see. I'm prepared. And if it happens, man, I'm going to react naturally. I thought about preparing for it, but I was like, no, I'm just going to react natural. So, yeah. Val in the house. Just that. I meant to say not they wasn't trying to throw pronouns on you. Twas the night before the draft, and all the house, a bunch of crazy theories leaked out that have no clout. Yeah, it's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen 110%. Wolfie, when you read that, I thought about the same song. I can feel it coming in. I can feel the draft coming in the air tomorrow. Good point. Same with Brock. If the contract wasn't close or he was getting traded, he would have worked out with Kittle, Pearsall, and Cowan 110%. Showing some love. Look it up, Wolfie. You know what? I like the ties. All about the ties, man. Ties got to look good. A tie is a good vibe, man. Tie's a good vibe. Showing some love. That's what I like to see. I can't agree enough. These ones for the next time in advance. Yep, it was him. 110%. This is the website that writes articles constantly, uses Cohen as reference. Insider Cohen says, makes me laugh. Cohen isn't an insider. He's a modern-day National Enquirer. He doesn't have a source. He uses things of that nature, yeah. Wolfie and Terradome, you coming on tonight? It's Corey Davis, 49ers Wednesday show tonight. I am not. I don't even know who that is. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea who that is. So, Andrew Swore. All right. The last subject before we jump into the next thing, which is the mock draft for all 32 teams. Before we jump into that, Daniel Jeremiah talked to SF Niners Brad Graham, and he asked him, hey, do you think that who do you think the 49ers will take at 11? Asked Daniel Jeremiah. Daniel Jeremiah has been right a few times about players, the 49ers, not 49ers, but the players draft, He's been right about some trade scenarios. He's got the in. Daniel Jeremiah does. And according to Daniel Jeremiah, his predictions are Nolan or, prepare yourself this, Gray Zabel, a name we have not heard at all. Gray Zabel, potentially a San Francisco 49ers at 11, would not hate it. I would not hate that. I am a big fan of Gray Zabel. If we took him at 11, I'd actually love it. He could play center. He could play guard. He could play swing tackle if you need him to. It's a player that's never really been connected to the San Francisco 49ers. But that would be relatively on brand for the 49ers to do that. I'm not going to lie. It would be on brand because the 49ers tend to pick someone that you don't see coming. And that would be a player the 49ers haven't really interviewed. No one has really mocked him to the 49ers, something like that. So if the 49ers drafted Gray Zabel at 11, would you hate it? I wouldn't hate it. I love it. I like his versatility. I like what he could do. I believe in him. It's another North Dakota State guy. So there's that. But Zabel, man, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. If we took him at 11, yes, technically it would be a little bit of a reach. So I prefer the 49ers to trade back a little bit before they draft him. But if you're talking about just taking him at 11, I would absolutely love it. And also, if you took Gray Zabel, potential Jake Brendel replacement, because he can play center. So you got a potential Gray Zabel replacement if you were to do that. So if we drafted Gray Zabel, I wouldn't be surprised. It's been one of the most connected players to the 49ers at 11. But like I said about Membu, I'd much rather draft that offensive lineman at 11 because the D tackles and D ends you can get in second, third, and fourth in the fourth rounds and stuff that you'll start day one. Players the 49ers have shown interest in are D tackles in the third, fourth round, second round, like Talik Williams, Norman Lott, D ends like Roberts, Walker, Aladejo, all second, third, fourth round type guys, and they've shown a lot more interest in like the first round kind of type offensive linemen and D tackles. So I would like Gray Zabel at 11. I wouldn't hate it. It's a name I haven't heard before. It's a name I wouldn't have before, but Daniel Jeremiah has been right about these things. And if they were to do it, he would fit the scheme too. He would fit the scheme. So I love that. Wolf, you know who Jay Feely is, the kickers? I know who he is. I don't know who he played for, but I know who he is. Wolfie, you should call on no. That would not fly. I'm not interested in it might make for good TV, but I'm not interested in causing like that kind of drama. I'm not interested in that kind of stuff. But I like the thought. It is funny. It would be fun, but I can't do that. I can't do that. It wouldn't be honest. It wouldn't be honest content. It's the David McNiner show. Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know that. I know that. A little high for me, but I don't like taking interior offensive line so high. That is true, but he plays like all three positions, man. He plays center, he plays guard, and he can play your swing tackle. You would hit all three positions in one spot. So yeah, I do agree. Like guard, interior offensive lineman, you want to take later in the first round kind of type thing, but he does all three things. And so it is a bit of a reach, not gonna lie. But if he's good at playing center, he will replace Jake Brendel. He's good at playing guard. He's your starting guard, which we desperately need for Brock Purdy. And he can play your swing tackle position. He can play left and right tackle. So, I mean, out of all the players you take there, I mean, he's probably one of them when it comes to interior offensive line 11. That's worth taking. I'd actually really like Zabel. He could be our Banks replacement and replacement for that bum Brendel. Exactly, dude. Exactly, man. He could be your complete Brendel replacement, right? And we all love that. That's worth it. Like Strawberry said, it's a bit of a reach, a little high, but he could replace Brendel. I want to see Grant David do a celebrity fight and have Wolfie be the ref. I'm falling a little out of love with David as of late, but yeah, that would. I think them doing a show together. I think that would be something to see. That would be something to see. It was a kicker for the Cardinals mainly. That does sound familiar. I wish they replaced Brendel. Don't see it happen. I don't see it happening either. But it's definitely possible with Zabel, though. It's definitely possible with Zabel. Zabel can play that center position. I'm okay with Zabel at the end of the round one, not on 11. I like the player, though. So you would like it, but not love it, right? Like you would like the pick, as in like you like the player. At least it's a player in the first round, talent. It's a good player, so you like it, but you wouldn't love it, kind of type thing. Because I feel like there's tiers of like a pick. Like my bottom tier, like absolutely hate it, yell at the TV screen, would be Shamar Stewart. After that, there's my I'll be open-minded tier. There's my open-minded tier. Then there is my like tier, my love tier, and my perfect, absolutely love everything about it. Got to get them at 11 tier. So like I have tiers of how I feel about prospects. Because I try not to be – I don't like being black and white. Like it's got to be one way or the other. It's either got to be a pick that I absolutely love or it's absolute trash. You guys suck. You don't know how to draft. that's I feel like that's unrealistic. I feel like you got to have like ranks of how you feel about a pick. You're like, okay, might be good, might be a great one. Like lesson learned with Ricky Pearsall, for example. That is something that I really overreacted, and I wish I didn't react as much as I did. I should have been like, okay, I'll be open-minded. Probably would have said open-minded at the time. Gotcha. I want to talk about politics. I would prefer Zabel to Shamar Stewart. 110%, man. I would take a fucking wide receiver over Shamar Stewart. 110%. I would take a wide receiver. I would take Genty if he was there at 11 over Shamar Stewart. I cannot stand him, dude. Like there's literally no player that I hate more. Like there is no player I hate more. And yeah, that's just how I feel about that. Like if we draft a guy, for example, if we draft a safety like Larry Krueger said, hey, you're going to draft Starks at 11. I want to draft Starks at 11. If we did that, I'd be like, at least it's not Shamar Stewart. That's one thing that I would say. Like, at least it's not him. Never get hope of Strawberry. I doubt they'll replace him with a rookie, but maybe they would consider Barch or Hennessy or News as possible. Got to give out those good vibes. It would make the vibes go out the window. Fair enough. One. I don't wish the injuries to players, but it would be nice to see someone else play center. Hey, it's the intrusive thoughts, man. Those intrusive thoughts, man. You're being honest. I get it. Like you're repenting. You're like saying no, but I hear you, man. I hear you 110%. So those are the most recent news. The San Francisco 49ers as of late with what's going on. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Let me go ahead about the mock draft. We'll go ahead and do a mock draft, a 32-team mock draft officially. Hold on, NFL simulator draft. Round 1. Select all. Enter the draft. God, so many ads. So many ads, man. I gotta like zoom in, zoom out. All right, let me go do that. Bring it up. I hope you have a kicker somewhere in that mock draft. If I were to do that, it would be for the 49ers. It would be the last pick in the draft for sure. Probably the seventh pick. 110%. It would be that last pick or undrafted. I'm not drafting a kicker like with like the fifth. If you're talking like fifth, sixth, or like fourth, now I would use the last pick that we have, the 252nd pick in the draft on a kicker. I would do that. Like Andreas Borregales, I'd probably do that. So like if he's trash and not good, we can just move off for him. I wouldn't mind that. That's a good question, Wolfie. Would you be mad if they were to draft a kicker in the first round or Shamar? Come on. That's tough. That is actually tough. That's actually tough. I would rather see Shamar Stewart. Like I hate saying that, but I guess I would rather like it. You gotta make me make a decision. I'm gonna say a Shamar Stewart. That's like the only time I'll say yes. If it's a punter or a kicker or whatever, I guess I would pick Shamar Stewart. If they came out and said, hey, we were going to draft Andreas Borregales, number 11, or Shamar Stewart, and they picked Shamar Stewart, I guess I'd be like, okay, they made the right choice. That's like the only time that I would actually be able to do that. Larry's flip-flopping every day the last couple of weeks. He has been saying, Jeff knows. Last couple of days, he's been saying that Mason Graham isn't not the right body and not good on third down. Rather than Nolan. Now Larry's saying Mason Graham, best D tackle ever seen in college. I think he's just lost in his sauce, man. He's just lost in his sauce. He gets excited about the draft, excited about his players. I brought it before. I think that if you look at enough prospects and you get excited about drafting a certain prospect and stuff like that, you get lost in your sauce, man, and you start to like love a player, then not love a player, and you like this player, you like that player. There's got to be like a word for it, not draftism. It's got to be like not draftaholic. I guess you could say it's like a system. It's like a system. It's like a symptom of being a draftaholic, right? You kind of get this schizophrenic type, back and forth. This guy, that guy, this guy. Oh, I'm looking at this guy. I love this guy. Then I love this guy. And I love that guy. So you kind of develop like this schizophrenic, back and forth. Because like you said, like one time, Jeff, you brought up that he wanted Starks at 11, right? Like there's just so many players. You can only have one. And since you're a draftaholic, you're like, this guy, no, that guy, no, that guy, or no, that guy. That's what I'm convinced is happening with Larry. So I'm not surprised. It sounds like he played both sides, so no matter what happens, he's right. That's true. That's also true if you say positive things about every single player, and every single player should get taken out 11. You could say, hey, I was right about that. If you said negative things about every single player also as well, technically you could say I was right. Mason Graham is too small, doesn't have the body type to do it. Can't do it. I was right. So you're not wrong. That's a good theory. It's a good theory, Strawberry. It's a good theory. But I got mad cottonmouth, guys. So I'm sorry. I got some water. I got mad cottonmouth. All right. I gotta take A Draftback's opinion on Larry seriously more. I don't even know what his opinion is anymore. So he's gonna hate Shamar Stewart. It's gonna happen, man. Probably. It's probably gonna happen for sure. Wouldn't doubt it. That's freaking funny. No edibles. No edibles. I have not. Believe it or not, guys. And I know I get this a lot of shorts. A lot of people tell me, hey, you look stoned. You're stoned. I haven't been stoned since November. I haven't smoked pot since November. I've been clean. All right, let's go ahead and do this draft. This one's easy. I don't think this one's complicated. Cam Ward. Pah! That's what we're going to go there. The Cleveland Browns. Some people say Sanders, Abdul Carter, all that. It's going to be Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is going to the Browns. The New York Giants, between Shedeur Sanders and Abdul Carter, I just think the smart thing to do here for this Giants team is to take Abdul Carter, and I think that's exactly what they will do. But my two picks for the Giants are Abdul Carter and Shedeur Sanders. So just throwing that out there. New England Patriots are going to take Will Campbell. They've shown significant interest in that guy. Some people say it could be Genty. Which is definitely possible, but I think they go Will Campbell. Protect your asset, Drake May. In a deep running back draft, go ahead and just get yourself a running back later on. Jacksonville, I've heard some people have been playing around with the idea of them drafting potentially Jalen Walker here, and then Mason Graham falling in the draft potentially. Apparently, that's been like a rumor of some kind. But I'm gonna stick with my guns on this one. I'm gonna stick with what my gut tells me, and I'm gonna take Mason Graham at 5. That just seems the right thing to do. Again, no trade ups. I do think there'll be a trade at some point, but for the sake of the draft and not trying to play funny games and guessing games, we're just going to do a no trade thing, and Mason Graham at 5. I think they're going to do that. Las Vegas Raiders, I'm going to stay with Ashton Jeanty. Some say the Raiders are interested in Jalen Milroe to sit behind Geno Smith. And honestly, I kind of like what's his name? Jalen Milroe to the Raiders. Pete Carroll works wonders with that kind of type of quarterback, especially with Geno Smith. I think he could possibly work wonders with Milroe. So I'm going to go ahead and give the Vegas Raiders Ashton Jeanty instead of Milroe. But I wouldn't be surprised if they end up drafting him. I know you played up. You're fine. You guys have it all wrong. Larry takes have an expiration date. It's like milk. They're talking about me and edibles. I'm judging you on this pick. What pick's that? What pick is that? Miller is just 2025. Anthony Richardson on 10%. I agree with that. What are you booing? Mason Graham at 5 is makes sense. That makes sense. The Jets, I'm going to give this sadly. This is between why can't I think Tyler Warren? There you go. This is between Tyler Warren and Membu. I'm going to give them Membu. I think that's what they do. They like Justin Fields, help protect their guy. Membu is a top 10 dude. It's sad to see that because the 49ers not 49ers, but 49ers fans love Membu and they want to see him fall to 11. But I just don't think that happens if there's no trades. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, but Wi-Fi, I would love to hear what you think the Jags should take at 5. Absolutely love to hear it. Carolina at 8 are going to, some people say McMillan. Some people say Jalen Walker. I'm going to give them Jalen Walker out of Georgia. They're is the most connected player to the Carolina Panthers, and they need an edge rusher. Carolina Panthers fans want an edge rusher, so we're going Carolina Panthers here. We're going with the Jalen Walker, Carolina Panthers. New Orleans Saints. I've heard the Saints are not interested in Shedeur Sanders. They might be interested in Jackson Dart, though. They need a quarterback. And I think they're going to go quarterback Jackson Dart instead of Shedeur Sanders. That might be crazy, but I've got a feeling it's not going to be Shedeur. They're going to go quarterback, and it's going to be Jackson Dart. That might be crazy, but that seems like a player. I just feel like it fits perfect for them. He screams New Orleans Saints more than Shedeur Sanders does, and I feel like that's a controversial pick there at 9. But I've got a feeling, and I'm going to go with my gut prediction here. They're going to take a quarterback, and heck, I think they might take Milroe potentially over Shedeur Sanders. But Dart at 9, I think between Shedeur Sanders and Dart, that might be a controversial pick. That might be my most controversial. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I think they take Jackson Dart. We'll see. Chicago Bears are going to take Tyler Warren out of Penn State. That's what I got. I think they're going to take Tyler Warren out of Penn State. I feel like it's either going to be an edge rusher, an offensive lineman, or a weapon like Tyler Warren, because they need a weapon tight end. And I do think Tyler Warren is that guy. And I think they take Tyler Warren if he falls to them at 10. I know. Controversial. Controversial one. Controversial. I know. Walker Keller, I can't hate on that. I just feel like it just makes more sense. I just feel like how it goes. And I think Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders, and Milroe, I think among the league, are considered the same tier of players. So, yes, Jackson Dart there at 9 might sound crazy, but I just feel like Jackson Dart at 9, that's my risky, going at it kind of type pick. That's what I feel like. Next up, the San Francisco 49ers take Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado Trade Brock Purdy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. All right. Okay. So this is like now what I do here is, do I go with my prediction or who I want? Because who I want is Mike Green. I want Mike Green. That's who I want. And it's between Mike Green. It's between Mike Green and Walter Nolan. I got you guys. It's so funny. That's absolutely funny. Yeah, I'm just joking, guys. I'm just kidding. Not even funny. Were you possessed by cover 30 seconds? I'm like Shedeur Sanders at 11. Oh my God! Trade Brock Purdy to the Steelers for the 21st pick. All right. Okay. All right. Seriously though. I think the safe pick here is Walter Nolan. If you want to say Walter Nolan to the 49ers is probably the most mocked, safest like prediction you can make. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it's probably the most like that's definitely going to happen kind of type thing. Wi-Fi says O-line. I would love O-line. I don't like Kelvin Banks though. They could draft Kelvin Banks. It's definitely possible, but I think they go D-line here, and I think they want to trade back. And I think they're going to take D lineman Walter Nolan out of Mississippi. I think that's going to be their pick. And if the board fell this way, it would be between Walter Nolan, Kelvin Banks, and edge Mike Green. So Walter Nolan, I think, is just the safest pick. It's between Mike Green and Walter Nolan. Wi-Fi wants O-line. Wi-Fi says O-line. Papa J says Nolan. Juan says Mike Green. Who do I think they will pick? Who do I think they will pick is what matters. And they like Oladejo. They like David Walker. They like Elijah Roberts, someone they can get later on in the draft. It's going to be Nolan. It's going to be Nolan. I'm sorry. It's going to be Nolan. It just, if I sit here and think about it, I love Mike Green. If Mike Green's name gets called, I'm going to absolutely love that. If Will Campbell or Membu falls to 11 and they draft either one of them, I would absolutely love it. But if we're talking about prediction and how I feel like the board's going to fall, the 49ers are going to take Walter Nolan at 11. I think that's what's going to happen. So, but I do like Wi-Fi. I don't mind offensive linemen at 11 if that means anything, right? If it means anything, I do not mind offensive linemen at 11. I would love it even. But if you're talking about prediction wise, Nolan is the safe pick. Nolan is the safe pick. Is what Terry Jones said. I agree. Prediction wise is the guy. It's the guy. It's him, right? It's him. So, all right, Dallas Cowboys. Some people think it's Tator McMillan, but Matthew Golden has shown a lot of the Cowboys have shown a lot of interest in Matthew Golden. Apparently, he had a great interview with Jerry Jones. Took a picture with him and everything. The Dallas Cowboys absolutely love Matthew Golden. And I do think they're going to take a wide receiver here. It's either Tatori McMillan or Matthew Golden. And I think Tatori McMillan could fall in this draft. But if I know the Dallas Cowboys at all, they will draft whoever the fuck they want. They will draft a player who falls. They will draft a player who is – they are going to draft a player who's going to fall in the draft. And that player is going to be Tatori McMillan. That's who they're going to take. It's depth, but I will say wide receiver. So I'm going to say Tatori McMillan at 11, at 12. It's kind of hard to say. It's really hard to say between Golden and McMillan. I almost want to say Golden, but I think that Jerry would just fall in love too much with this guy is supposed to be top 10 and he's the wide receiver. I didn't think he was going to follow us, so I'm going to pick him kind of type thing. I just feel like that's what Jerry Jones is going to do. So you predict the 49ers are prioritize D-line over O-line. I think they're going to take best player available that also is prioritizing. So they're going to take – so if like Membu fell or Will Campbell fell at 11, they potentially could take Will Campbell or Membu. But if both those players are gone, I could see them definitely prioritizing D-line because D-line is way more important than their guard position. They have no D tackles, no depth there at all. So they have priorities at D tackle they need to address. So O-line, I would love for O-line to be addressed, but you can address that also within the second round. With the 43rd pick, you could draft Jonas Savea, Donovan Jackson, Tyler Booker might even fall there as potentially. They've looked at swing tackles they've been interested in that they want. They can play guard as well, like Charles Graham from William and Mary. There's options there, but they want a D tackle. They've shown a lot of interest in Walter Nolan. And the way the board falls, if it fell this way, if they had to choose between Banks and Walter Nolan, I think they would take Walter Nolan. So, while the only O-line starter not returning is left guard, they literally let all go to the start D-line except Bosa. Exactly. So, I do predict that they pick the best player available that's also a need to them, and that's Walter Nolan. So, but I would say D tackle. I would easily say that D tackle is more of a priority right now than offensive line. If that's what you want me to say, I would definitely say that because you got nothing at D tackle. You got nothing on that D line. So that is something they would do. They took Walter Nolan. Next up, you got the Miami Dolphins at 13. They just lost Armstead. They're trying to trade Jalen Ramsey where they have no corners at all. I think they're going to take a corner. This is where I would it's between Banks and Will Johnson for me. Right here for the Miami Dolphins, between Banks and Will Johnson. And I think that they've shown with trading Ramsey, having no corners at all. If you guys are familiar with the content creator, Tyler, I can't remember his name, Tyler something. He absolutely wants a corner. The fans want a corner. They also want an offensive lineman to help protect Tua Tagovailoa. I think they take Will Johnson here at 13. Colts, I'm going to 100% predict they take a tight end, Colson Loveland. Like, that's just bar none. I feel like that's the easiest way to go here. The Atlanta Falcons, they have Michael Penix out there. Tyler TNT. Yeah, I think it's his name. It's Tyler something. He's a well-known Dolphins fan. He absolutely he wants a corner. So I'm gonna give him that, and I'm gonna go with that. If he takes with Jalen Ramsey being gone potentially because he's gonna possibly be traded, they're gonna want a corner. They have no corners, and so I think they're gonna address that with the first pick. Next up, you got the Atlanta Falcons. I think they take Mikael Williams out of Georgia. I feel like that's the way to go. I think he goes there. The Arizona Cardinals, I want to double check something real quick. Hold on. I got to check something real quick with the Arizona Cardinals. 1 second. All right. They need a tackle, an edge, and D tackle. I think this is where they will take Kelvin Banks. I think Kelvin Banks will go here because, according to their draft needs, they need an offensive tackle. I know they have Paris. I think it's something Paris. I can't remember his name. But I think they need a left tackle. And according to this, they desperately need the Cardinals have a need at right tackle with Jonah Williams' contract expiring soon. They also need to survive the right guard position. And Kelvin Banks can play that position as well. So I'm going to go ahead and give them Kelvin Banks out of Texas. That's who I think fall there. The Bengals, they need D-tack. They need defense, and they also need a guard. So I can go Gray Zabel here, wouldn't be a bad option. I can go Mike Green here for them. Safety, even Malachi Starks or Amanawari. But I'm going to give them Amanawari from South Carolina. It's a feeling thing. I just think they're going to take a safety, and they're going to take a versatile, fast, super athletic, huge upside with production in Amanawari over Starks. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to do that. The Seattle Seahawks, now, they could take Shedeur here. I have heard the Seattle Seahawks potentially might want a quarterback, right? And just have, what's his name, Sam Darnold, because they can get out of his contract in a year, and they can just draft Shedeur Sanders if he were to fall. But I think they're going to take the wide receiver, Matthew Golden. That's just the way to go. I think it's the best option for him. You got no wide receivers. You want to give an offense, especially if you were to draft a guy next year or move off of Sam Darnold next year. I think that Matthew Golden would be the way to go there. I've always loved that pick. I think it's the best pick for him. Cornerback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think this is where Jahdae Barron goes. I'm going to give them the corner from Texas. Then you got the Broncos. They're going to take a running back. They're going to take Amarion Hampton. They're going to take Amarion Hampton here. Bam! I just feel like that running back. And a lot of people consider him on the same tier as, what's his name? Same tier as Genty. So I'll put him there. Pittsburgh, this is where Shedeur Sanders stops falling, and he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's between him and Milroe. Definitely going to go there. Chargers next. They need D-line. They need a guy from opposite from Khalil Mack. And if they're going to take the best player available, it's either going to be Shamar Stewart. It's either going to be a D tackle like Grant. An offensive weapon wouldn't be bad. But I think they're going to take Mike Green out of Marshall. I drew a blank there. Just because it's the best available DN, they need a D-line opposite from Khalil Mack. Someone to take the reins. I think that's the way to go. It's either the edge, D tackle, wide receiver for the Chargers. They could have took somebody like Abuka or Luther Burden there, or Gray Zabel. They could use a guard. That would be a bad option, but I'll go with that. The Green Bay Packers, Abuka would be the guy, but I think they go edge. Here, and they're going to take it's either James Pierce Jr. here or Shamar Stewart. And I think the Green Bay Packers are going to take Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. I think the Green Bay Packers are going to end up taking him. I think the Green Bay Packers take him. So like that. I think that's what's going to happen there. Joe is like the one. Joe probably hates Shamar Stewart more than me. I'll say that much. He absolutely, yeah. There you go. Strawberry, you and me are thinking the same thing. He absolutely hates Shamar Stewart. Him and I, that's one thing him and I agree on. But I'm not freaking out like he is, though. But he absolutely hates it. I'm not freaking out like that. But all right, next up, you got the Minnesota Vikings. This is where they need a safety. They desperately need a safety, and I think they're going to take Malachi Starks, and that's where he's going to go. Next up, you have the Houston Texans. They desperately need offensive line. They need a what was the other position they need? There's another position they needed. It's not D-line. But wide receiver and D line, offensive line is definitely there. You go, offensive line and wide receiver. If the board fell like this, like, I mean, I wouldn't. If I was them, I wouldn't mind Gray Zabel here, James Pierce Jr., edge. That's a really good player there. Tyler Booker, Izaraku. But I'm going to go ahead. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm going to give them great. I'm going to give Josh Simmons. They need desperately to tackle, start guy. They're going to take a risk on a guy like that. And he's supposed to be ready to play week 1. They need a tackle. And if he's ready to go, like I'm sure they've worked him out. And if he starts week 1 with no restrictions, no pain in his knee, all good, fully healthy, they got the best tackle in the draft. I think the value there at 25 is worth it. I think that's good value for Simmons. And you replace Laramie Tunsil. You're just baked. There's just a lot of what ifs, and I think the Houston Texans can play with what ifs right now. The 49ers can't, but the Houston Texans absolutely can. They can play with what ifs. Next up, you got the LA Rams. They're going to take kicker Andreas Borregales from Miami. Very good kicker, top notch. The Rams desperately need a kicker, and why not go out and get the best kicker in the draft? Make sure you lock him up, because I don't know if he's going to be there in the second round, and I think the Rams desperately need a kicker. So we're going to go ahead and take Andreas Borregales for the Rams. I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm going to take this seriously. These are actual real predictions, guys. These are going to be real predictions here. And it's definitely between James Pierce Jr. and Jahad Campbell. I think this is where Jahad Campbell goes. Jahad Campbell is the perfect spot. Like, I think the Rams, perfect spot for the Rams is Jahad Campbell. Like, Jahad Campbell going to the Rams is absolutely the perfect spot for them. I think that with the D-line that they have, with the corners they work with, they could use a corner. They probably could draft like a corner like Amos or Hairston, right? But with Starks gone, Monowari gone, literally they need a linebacker. And if they got Jahad Campbell, a downhill linebacker, great tackler, I think that's a perfect fit for the Rams. And if I'm the Rams, man, I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. I'm super happy that you got Jahad Campbell. If you're a Rams fan, that's the perfect spot, I think. I also want to say one more thing. I do think there's going to be a trade up in somewhere around this area. A team is going to trade up from 33, 34, 35, like the Giants, Browns, some other team that wants a project quarterback. I think they do trade up and take Milroe. I think Milroe is going to get taken here. But since this is a no-trade draft, Milroe falls out of the first round. So keep that in mind. Next up, you got the Ravens. Here is either James Pierce Jr. or Donovan Izaraku. They need an edge. It's edge, 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 edge. And I feel like Donovan Izaraku just screams, absolutely screams Raven. They can go James Pierce here or Izaraku. I think they're going to go Donovan Izaraku. He just screams a Raven. Like, he just absolutely does. So the Lions absolutely need a D tackle, an edge across from Hutchinson, and they need a guard. They just need that right guard position filled. And I think they're going to take either Tyler Booker here or Gray Zabel. I actually do think they're going to go offensive line. That might be crazy with Derek Harmon on the board, Kenneth Grant, and James Pierce Jr. still available. But I think they're going to go – this is kind of tough, actually. Gray Zabel really screams at me like if he were to fall to 28. I feel like someone would take him here at 28. Maybe even Tyler Booker, because they do need a guard. And they need to protect Jared Goff, who's not a mobile quarterback. D-line and edge, I feel like they'll get on later. So this might be crazy, but I'm going to give them Grace Bell. It's either you get a guy like James Pierce Jr. across from Hutchinson would be crazy good. You got someone like Kenneth Grant or Jari Harmon up there in the middle. I think that would be great too. But I think they're going to get a guard. And why not get a guy who can play center and guard and tackle for wherever you need it? Perfect spot. The Washington Commanders absolutely need an edge rusher. They take James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. Next up, you have the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills. They have up next. Some say it's going to be a cornerback, Chevelle Jr. Some say it's going to be they need a D tackle. So based on how this board fell, D tackle or corner, I think, and I know from what I've heard from Bills fans, they love and want Siobhan Revel Jr. from East Carolina. But with the board, the way it falls, I think they would take either Kenneth Grant or Derek Harmon here. And I think they're going to – Derek Harmon screams Buffalo Bill. He just does. He just screams Buffalo Bill over Kenneth Grant. I'm going to give them – oh, no, you know what? Oh, I definitely should have gone Kenneth Grant instead. Definitely should have gone Kenneth Grant instead. All right, next up, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. So next you got Kansas City Chiefs. They need offensive tackle. They need that. They need offensive tackle. They're good on guard. They're good on center. They need a tackle for sure. I know they got Jalen Moore. Do they need a guard, actually? Don't they need to get rid of guard? They have Smith. They need a guy who can play inside too. I know they showed a lot of interest in Conley. Kenneth Grant, though, I know a lot of Chiefs fans want a D lineman. Ooh, it's definitely between Kenneth Grant here, Conley, and Booker. And I'm going to go ahead and give them one. Who would they take here if this fell like this? Would they protect Patrick Mahomes? Or would they go Kenneth Grant? All right, they're gonna take Kenneth Grant. Is either Derek Harmon or Kenneth Grant. They're gonna take the D tackle. They need a D tackle support. And I think that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna take Kenneth Grant there and pass on offensive linemen. Because it was between that or Conley. Conley or Booker, Donovan Jackson, or what's his name? That I just took, Kenneth Grant. So I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to take a D tackle, Kenneth Grant there. Last but not least, the Philadelphia Eagles. They desperately need a kicker. I mean, I can't think of his name right now. That kicker guy is absolutely terrible. They need a kicker. They have everything filled on the defense. They have everything filled on the offense. They have their quarterback, man. They have all their special teams players. They really just need a kicker here. And I think a guy like Tyler Loop fits their system really well, right? 78.3% kick percentage, which is pretty darn good for Philadelphia, right? So I think they take Tyler Loop out of Arizona. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. On a serious note, they need a guard. They do. They have that right guard position not filled yet. They want to fill that. I know they need a corner too as well, but they value their offensive line. They truly value offensive line. And I promise you, they value Tyler Booker. It's between interior offensive line, Donovan Jackson, Tyler Booker, or a corner like Maxwell Harrison or Trey Amos. One of these four guys is going to be a Philadelphia Eagle. For sure. It's going to be one of those guys. It's going to be Trey Harrison, Amos, Booker, or Donovan Jackson. I'm super confident in that. And so we're going to take the best interior guy, the number one guard, They need that guard position filled, and they're going to take Tyler Booker out of Alabama. All right, so this is how the draft board fell. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, Mason Graham, Ashton Genty, Amon Membu, Jalen Walker, Jackson Dart, Tyler Warren, Walter Nolan to the 49ers. There's a lot of picks. I want to throw this out there. There's a lot of picks for the 49ers to get at 11th that I would absolutely love. That I wouldn't hate. Torrey McMillan to the Dallas Cowboys, Will Johnson to the Dolphins, Colston Loveland to the Colts, Mikael Williams to the Atlanta Falcons, Kelvin Banks to the Cardinals. They need guard and left tackle. Get a guy who can play both. Nick Amonowori goes to the Bengals. Matthew Golden goes to the Seahawks. Jahdae Barron goes to the Bucks. Marion Hampton to the Broncos. Shedeur Sanders to 21 to the Steelers. Mike Green to the Chargers. That's probably the one that I'm kind of – that's the one I'm kind of on. I'm a little iffy on, but I just think the value at 21, they need an edge guy. I think that's probably it. Shamar Stewart to the Green Bay Packers. Tom Grossi is going to love that. Malachi Starks to the Vikings. Josh Simmons to the Texans. Jahad Campbell to the Rams. Donovan Izaraku to the Ravens. Gray Zabel to the Lions. James Pierce Jr. to the Commanders. Derek Harmon or Kenneth Grant to the Bills. Same thing with Chiefs. Kenneth Grant or Harmon to the Chiefs or Bills. Flip them either way. And the Eagles. For the Eagles, it's Walter Nolan, Starks, Amonowori. Those three picks. If none of those three picks falls to the Eagles at 32, they are going to take a guard. They're going to take the best available player. They're going to take the best available player. And the board falls like this. The best available player, without a doubt, is a guard. That's 110%. It's the guard, Tyler Booker. He's the best player that was available. He's the best guard in this draft. He's the best pro ready. He'll be good for that scheme. And their offensive line will continue to dominate. They will have that offensive line. If they get Tyler Booker, if that offensive line is going to be crazy good. He is incredibly strong. He could do the tush-push stuff. You got Lane Johnson, Mariota. You got Landon Dickerson. You got Jurgens. Now you got Tyler Booker, dude. No, like Saquon and Hurts are going to go off, dude. Go off. And I think that if they were to do that, man, the sky's the limit for the Eagles, man. Sky's the limit. So that is my mock draft, my official predictions for the NFL draft. And again, I didn't do trades, so some of these are going to be not going to be correct. But if I did no trades, that's what I think would happen. I'm very comfortable with a lot of those picks. A lot of those picks, I'm very comfortable with it. The Chiefs drafted quarterback to replace the bum Mahomes who threw 2 picks in the Super Bowl. What a bust. What a bum. Drafted lead players. For sure. Juan, Justin Noah's going to come after you. He has some kind of radar that sets off an alarm when someone criticizes an elite quarterback. That's funny. He's going to have to carry eventually, Joe, because it might be Trent's last year for sure. And they did say Kyle did say they need a tackle. He did say we need a swing tackle. So, and he did say we need a guard and a swing tackle. So keep that in mind. He did say that. So it's very possible he's going to draft a guy who could play tackle and guard. Theoretically, Banks can do that. Gray Zabel can do that. There is a few players that fit that bill for the 49ers to draft at 11. So I wouldn't put it out there because Kyle did say we need a swing tackle and a guard. So yeah. Let's go win a Super Bowl suit for Trent, baby. Let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. That bum Mahomes, the absolute bum. All right, guys, that is everything. I got to take my dog for a walk, make some dinner. I'm going to be live tomorrow. NFL draft live tomorrow. It's going to be a blast, man. I might go live with, I might be going live with David McNiner. I'm going to make a decision tonight so I can message him so that he knows early on, because I'm not the type of guy that just throws it on people like last second. I will let you guys know if I'm going to go on McNiner's live. I'm considering it. I just kind of prepared myself to do it by myself, kind of type thing. But I might do it. I might join the McNiners and then live react to the picks and stuff. Might be a great conversation. A little more entertaining for you guys as well. Get, a lot more people talking, a lot more of a conversation. So, all right, guys, I'm going to bounce. Thank you guys so much for being part of this last live final mock draft. Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow is NFL Christmas. We get to open up our new players. It's going to be exciting. I'm stoked. I know you guys are stoked. Salvador, peace out, man. Thank you so much for being part of this live. Juan, as always, thank you so much for being here. Do not blow it, man. Do not blow it. Like and subscribe. Best mod of broken ass for Papa J. I appreciate you as always. Joe Boyd, thank you so much for jumping in here, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Strawberry, thank you so much. I always appreciate you, man, being in here. Always entertaining. Always a good one. Always an OG. Val, per usual, OG, showing up, hitting that like button. Respect. Wi-Fi. It doesn't sound like we agreed on a lot of things, man. But I still appreciate you coming up in here, supporting the channel regardless, man. You're always welcome here. Terradome, thank you so much for being here. Check out Terradome's show. He's going to be live with me on the second day and potentially the third day. So don't miss out on that. Who else is in here? Ken Mueller, thank you so much for being in here, supporting the channel. Jake, thank you so much for being here too as well. Hope to see you tomorrow. Jeff, per usual, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I know you're excited for the draft tomorrow, so am I. Cannot wait for it. I think that's everybody. Oh, yeah, William Roberts, thank you so much for being here too as well, supporting the channel, hitting that like button. Thank you for being part of this conversation. Nikita, appreciate you. Wish you nothing but the best for your Eagles. Anthony Mazzano, thank you so much for being here. Supporting the channel, liking everything. Thank you so much for being there. And that is everyone. So thanks so much, Strawberry. I can't wait to see you, man. You're an OG, brother. I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you. I appreciate it. Of course, Wolfpack, thank you. And bang, bang, not a gang, baby. Everyone who watched this later, be sure you like this channel, be part of the conversation, be part of the huddle, be part of the Wolfpack. Because at the end of the day, man, these lives, these videos I make, it's just you have an opinion, I have an opinion, and us just having a great conversation about football. That's what it's about. That's what this entire channel is about. It's having a great conversation. And, of course, like the live, because every single like makes my 49ers heart grow from here to here. All love, fam. I'll see you tomorrow. Bang, bang, not a gang, baby. Anyone but Shamar.